This is the Normal Nerds Podcast, where two very normal dudes talk about very nerdy stuff and whatever else we feel like talking about. I'm your host, Maxwell Ceruzia.
And I'm your host who hates being objective, Dave Bates.
This episode, we're giving the real top 10 anime series of all time. So sit back, relax, and welcome to the Normal Nerds Podcast. All right, Davis.
Yo.
Last week, we put out an episode because Watchmojo made a horrifically bad video about top 10 anime series of all time. If you want, go back and listen to that, where we just rip the list apart because it's hot garbage.
It is hot garbo. It's pretty bad, yes.
Horrible.
Yes.
So, and on that episode, we decided, we can make it top 10.
Yeah.
And we're making this top 10 based off of objectiveness.
Yes.
Yes. Because our top 10
we thought about what the fans think
Yes.
about. And from our many, 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 many hours of reading anime lists and Watchmojo and everything, which we did for fun. Now we're actually using for do something.
Yes.
We based it on that pretty much. Like what appeared the most, where it all appeared. This sounds more scientific than it is. We guestimated where all this stuff appeared usually. We didn't break down the numbers. Some nerd can go do that. This was, or some dork, we're nerds, dorks. This is pretty much based on what we think overall the community, and based on quality and what the community thinks should be the top 10 anime, not what we think the top 10 anime should be.
Obviously, we had some sway in a few things.
Some of our opinions line up with.
Sometimes they do, but there are some that I think there's some we weren't gonna let on here.
Yeah, well, some don't belong on there.
Yeah,
because they aren't objectively that good. Sometimes they just watch what being crazy.
Yes. So
I hate some of the things on this list. I'm gonna say that I hate being objective. I wanted to kick one of these off the list so fucking badly, but apparently we had to keep it on there because people. Yeah.
So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go through our top 10, and if you're a long time listener to the podcast, you'll know where some places will go. But we're gonna start out number 10. Neon Genesis Evangelion. I have not seen this show. You have. Davis hates it.
This shouldn't be on the list, but for some reason, everyone out there likes it.
Yeah.
Not everyone out there. Fringe people like it. And there's enough fringe out there they combine and decide this will be their one thing they're going to put above everyone else. I hate this anime. This anime sucks. It's terrible. Each ending's a fuck you to the fans. I don't know why you people keep liking this, but you do. And it keeps popping up on lists. So it goes there. Once upon a time, I was told after Cowboy Bebop, this is before I was really going into all the anime. I was told once upon a time that it was the second best anime of all time, with Cowboy Bebop being number one, because then that's such a great take. But it made the list. It does have one of the most banger openings of all time. Cruel Angel's Thesis is fire. Pretty much the only thing they got right in the show. And so I made the list. Yeah. It's at number 10 because I refuse to let it go any lower. I don't believe that people would think... If everyone that says Evangelion's good actually watched it, they would say it's bad.
Like I said, I've never seen this anime. I'll watch it one day when I run out of stuff to watch. But it was one of those animes that when I first got into anime, it just popped up all the time on lists everywhere, left and right. I don't understand why it's so popular because it seems like the mechs fights are okay. Yeah. Seems like there's some pretty cool scenes, but the main character seems incredibly annoying.
She just sucks.
But it is a testament to this is how this list is going to go. We put this on here because we know how popular it is in the community and everything like that. So number 10, this hits. There you go, guys.
Congrats.
Number 9, which we don't see this on a lot of top 10 anime lists, but we both feel like it is part of the current big 3, is My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
It gets a lot of hate for its community. I don't know, the community is apparently terrible. The My Hero fans, I don't fucking know.
I believe that. I've seen some Comic-Con video reels and stuff, and I'm just I think that if I saw you in public... you would have a black eye. Yeah. Okay. These kids, some of them really suck. Some of them really suck.
I feel like this anime, just because there's so much good anime now, gets kind of put to the wayside. Because that's just JJK out and Demon Slayer, blah blah. But it felt like a big 3 the first season right off the bat.
Oh, 100%.
I was when he's and this is how the story of how I become the greatest hero ever. I was oh no, this is amazing.
And some of just a quick note for some of this list. Some of these anime that we objectively think are better and probably will be in the long run just haven't finished up yet, so they landed a little higher on the list. My Hero, I actually do believe it's better than some of the anime that are lower on the list. And I think by the time the anime is finished, they'll be there. But they, Attack on Titan and My Hero kind of proved a little bit that you can't fully base the greatness of an anime off of, the seasons that they have so far. Because My Hero had that season and a half garbage, which there is plenty of episodes where we talk about it. Go back and listen to those ones. Trust me.
Gentle Criminal.
Just get Google search Gentle Criminal and Normal Nerds, you'll find it. That proved for me that almost killed the anime. Literally, I almost stopped watching My Hero, and then they came back swinging as hard as possible, and I was like, "Well, they're back. You're back. Good for you guys." It was amazing. It was amazing. So it definitely, probably because of those 2 week seasons, it lands itself where it does, and it's not completed, so we're not fully sure where it's going to go yet. I don't read the manga, so I don't know it all. But this is going to be the final. I think by the time this finishes up, I'm banking on this will probably be. We'll probably revise this list as years go on, but this would probably hit number 6, if not crack the top 5. Hit number 6. There's a lot of top 5 that I don't think can be moved.
The 5 are good. It just got that shonen big 3 vibe to it, and
the story's insane too.
The story's really good. Deku's awesome.
Yeah.
Deku and Bakugo there, like that is one of the best. And I feel like it is. We're such a saturated market that it gets ignored, but like. Their friendship storyline was amazing.
Oh, it was spectacular.
It was amazing.
It was such an amazing slow burn, and it was wow. The payout was great.
Yeah.
The villain, just the overall story arc with the villain. It's been awesome, and you like to see Deku go from being a crybaby to being this actual big ass powerful hero to the point where he was he pretty much didn't beat up. He beat his entire class when they tried to take him down. This kid went from being quirkless to being the next time. I know we all talk about how you talk about the quirk that he has, giving him such an advantage. But the kid builds it up and he knows how to work and he's a genius.
He had to work out just to get in that spot.
Yeah, exactly. So it's one of those anime that I think is just and. Not for nothing, everyone does love it. The community, maybe the hardcore weebs, they sour it, but the whole anime community, they love. I've not met a person who says they actually unless they're a weeb, unequivocally hate My Hero because of the content of what it is. It's really, really good. And you can just tell also by the animation. See, the animation from season 1 to season 2, it's a huge gap because it got so popular, so that it got more money. So that's where it lands.
Yep.
We talked about number 9 now for an hour.
Yeah. Number 9, My Hero. Number 8, we put Jujutsu Kaisen.
The only reason it's here is because it's not done yet. Same reasons that I said before. We cannot trust the anime until it's completed.
Yeah. So we both openly have said it's our number 3 anime of all time. Just if it keeps up the way it's going and the story ends great, then it definitely solidifies itself there for me. But only because Attack on Titan is such a garbage show, and they showed you that you can have 3 amazing seasons,
truly,
and then go off the
masterpieces.
Rails. And I don't know if Jujutsu Kaisen. I doubt it will do that because it seems much more shonen based. But you never. You don't know.
You never know what Gegi's gonna do. Gigi, or what the creator is. You never know what they're gonna do.
No idea what
you see all the reels out there now where it's I think he must draw himself as a one-eyed dog or cat or something like that. So if you ever see a reel about it's I think my favorite JJK character is Gegi's watching. It just pans over to a cat with one eye or something like that, or a cat dog thing.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, we both love the series. I don't think we need to spend too much time on it because if you follow our weekly anime reviews,
you listen to any Jujutsu Kaisen podcast episode, you're gonna see why we love it.
And sometimes our episodes that aren't about Jujutsu Kaisen end up being a Jujutsu Kaisen.
And it currently does. It just outside of our opinion, it currently does own the internet.
I
know my algorithm is skewed to it, but everywhere is JJK, Shibuya, literally Shibuya. In Japan is all JJK stuff. It's literally on all their screens. They have props there. Gojo's in his cube there. It's great. So definitely, I think it's taking the world by storm, and it's gonna keep going on. I think.
Yeah, that's I think where it locks in 8 for us because we're just we don't know what it could do, but we feel like we have the first 2 seasons were amazing. Yes. Anyways, all right, the number 7 anime I have not seen again, but it's got to be on the list is Bleach. Some people really, really do love Bleach.
Sure.
Maybe it's a darker anime, so maybe that's why. I don't know, but I have not seen it.
I made it pretty deep into Bleach, but I'm not finished with it yet. My thing, Bleach is a big three easily. It like came out during that time. It held the audience at the same time, and I feel like that I would enjoy it a lot more had I started watching it back then. Because it had really early Naruto vibes. All these like, it just had early 2000s vibes to it. It's good, but a lot of that's slow and pace and all that stuff. And it is long. It's like, I always like to use Yu Yu Hakusho as the example of like, they're slow paced and stuff, but at least they only have like, I feel like their season isn't like 400 episodes. It's like, I think they only have like 100 episodes maybe. It's something like, it's something small. It's something very manageable. Yeah. It might be 60. Regardless.
Yu Yu Hakusho 60, really?
Yeah, it's not that, I don't think it's a long of an anime.
I'll look it up.
But regardless, Bleach is definitely a top 3. I think it should go there. The whole world loves it. 1,000-Year Blood War came back, and it was like, everyone was like, oh my god, it's so cool. Holy crap. How many episodes? 112? Okay, so about 100. All right, so my first guess was
your first guess, and then you cut it in half.
And then I cut it in half, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, 1,000-Year Blood War was massive, and for an anime to come back and, that's impressive and to be super popular. I know the first arc, the Soul Society arc, is apparently the best arc in the anime.
Yeah, it's good. I like the Iranka arc though. I'm really like,
I don't know what that is, but yeah,
it's the I think it's the arc right after it.
Oh, okay.
They have a lot of filler. They have a lot of filler stuff in there, but overall, I mean, I gotta finish the show. I have to finish the show. I want to watch 1,000-Year Blood War. I'm just like, it's one of those ones that is like new stuff kept coming out, so I didn't have time to dedicate to it anymore. But so far, it's been really, really good. Mm-hmm. It's just a little slower for me.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch it because I've seen all of Naruto. I got to catch up on One Piece, but
despite all that, everyone seems to love. People that watch Bleach love Bleach. So,
yeah, they love it. So and it's a big three.
It's been around forever. It came back.
And Bankai, like, come on.
Yeah, I know.
Ichigo's cool. Mm-hmm. He's probably like Ichigo out of the big three. Naruto, Luffy, and Ichigo. He's probably easily the coolest one.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, just like, cool.
He's actually cool.
yeah.
He's actually a cool kid.
Naruto and Luffy aren't really cool.
No.
Naruto is cooler than Luffy, but
yeah, but everyone's there saying like, this guy's a dork. What the
heck? But that's our number 7. Okay, and then our number 6 is Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
I think it deserves to be in the top 10 personally. I like Cowboy Bebop. We just have this. We both like it.
Yeah.
We just have this thing like people like have this like. It's like the Sistine Chapel, like it's the greatest thing ever, and it's just like it's good.
It's really good.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Spike Spiegel's awesome.
There are some anime on the list we already talked about that I think are way better than it. So like, it's just one of those ones where it's like I get the hype, but I don't get the hype, and also I don't understand why if they think it's so amazing and good, why they tanked the live action, which was pretty damn good, and it's not shot for scene or anything like that, but it was still really.
Are so mad about that.
I'm furious about that. That was my favorite live action I've ever seen. I know because they killed it. They killed it for no reason. They took it out back and shot it because they were mad that it wasn't shot for shot, just like the original one. That's so goddamn annoying. It's so goddamn annoying. I hate it. It pisses me off. I'm so mad at the anime community for killing that. I really liked watching that. I thought it was shot really well. Yeah, the actors liked the show. So stupid.
I think also, I think it's one of those where it makes sense. So here's a good example. It's like the One Piece live action, which I watched first episode, and it's probably fine. It's probably fine. Mahir liked it, so that to me is like, okay, it's probably okay then because he has the same exact One Piece opinions we have. But even if it was the worst piece of crap ever, the One Piece fan base would have been like, it's amazing!
Oh, yeah, sure.
Because that's the style of the One Piece fan base. The Cowboy Bebop fan base is all like the miladies and fedora people that like, it could have been perfect. Yeah. It wasn't perfect, but it was really good. It could have been perfect. They'd have been like, it's not like the true original art. You just don't get Cowboy Bebop like I get it.
I know.
So let's get it. We like Cowboy Bebop. Very good, complete story. Spike, the ending with Spike is so good.
It's awesome, yeah.
All the characters are great. It's a great show. Don't think it belongs in the top 5 personally.
No, absolutely not.
But it does definitely belong on the list.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Number 5, which we're doing this correct justice, unlike the Watchmojo list, we had it at 9. Number 5, Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball series overall, yeah. There's very little I have to say about this. It's the anime, it's the shonen anime that like. I swear to God, we base so much off of. Like, I know Dragon Ball, the series, used to be really into, showing the martial arts of it all, blah, 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 and, like, showing each scene and movement. And now, Dragon Ball is turning into a lot of, like, quick fist punching back and forth, laser beam, all that stuff, which is a cool, really cool jump in my opinion.
Yeah.
Does naturally get there over time. But I think, we base a lot of fighting stuff that happens. I think we base off of Dragon Ball, especially in Shonen. Like when you see two characters just like turn into just like flashes of light going back and forth, or like my most recent one I can think of was when Yuji and JJK fights the Mantis curse, like at the beginning of Shibuya, and he's literally doing the punches, like the quick punches from Dragon Ball. It's an insanely impactful anime, and it's long. The story is great, and Goku is one of the funniest main characters ever.
Yeah.
So
and talk about the goat.
Yeah, exactly, true.
He
and
is.
So
he is.
yeah, and Dragon Ball Z have been just huge for the longest time. Like since we were growing up. Like I remember watching it on Cartoon Network, and it was the show I wanted to watch because it was that good. So I don't understand Watchmojo once again why they put it so far up. Like the whole series, Dragon Ball Super came back and it was sick. Yeah. It was awesome.
I mean, literally in our basement we have a gym, quote unquote. But we have a banner up and it's Goku flexing. It's like training to go Super Saiyan. Yeah. Like just like the muscle world like loves.
Yeah, exactly.
Dragon Ball.
True.
Without Dragon Ball, anime is probably not a thing really. Like it is, but it's like Dragon Ball was like what like propelled anime into the Western culture.
I would almost agree.
That was like it was like the first anime like a lot of people got into, watched it. We all love Goku. And like you said, like the like and they like
it's still pretty,
like that like how many animes do that now?
I know, yeah,
all of them. So like, I think the characters are awesome. I mean, even remaking the show in a comedy aspect with Dragon Ball with that Kai.
Dragon Ball Z Kai,
Dragon Ball Z Kai is amazing.
Yeah,
like
it was great.
Yeah, it deserves to be in the top 5. Overall, though, it's like one of those that the reason I want to point out that why it's not beating the other ones is like it's really fun. It's super fun to watch, super great, and the story is kind of interesting. But overall, it's just like it's a muscle up dudes punching each other.
It really is. It really is.
And Vegeta just constantly losing
all the time. I want to be a Super Saiyan. I wanna.
Oh, I have to say that. Hold on, jeez. Oh, geez.
No, all right, calm down, man.
It's so hot in here.
It is warm in here, yes.
All right, number 4 on the list. So number 5 is Dragon Ball. Number 4 is Gurren Lagann.
Yeah.
This was a tough one for us because Code Geass is really good. It's not like we didn't want to put multiple mechs on here. We almost put Gundam on.
Gundam it's so tough. I've never seen the original start of Gundam. I desperately want them to remaster it because I hear the story of Gundam is
so bad.
It's horrendous, but the story is apparently amazing. It's about space civil wars and all this stuff.
Very
they
political.
did do a while ago. They did so. If you know Gundam, I'm about to butcher this, and I'm so sorry. The whole idea is that there was this guy named Char back in the original series, and he did a rebellion and all this stuff, and it was super espionage and all this stuff. A couple of years ago, they made a prequel to that, talking about Char's rebellion and how he became Char and all this stuff, and it was sick. And by the time I finished watching it, I had not realized it was a prequel, and then I realized I had to go watch original Gundam. And I tried to do it, and I wanted to die.
But
it's so bad.
It's a better way to watch, though. I guess you got to see the prequel first, and now you get to see. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, now you can see how Char actually works, and then
with One Piece,
it's possible.
We might be getting because One Piece is getting remastered, so maybe all of them. I don't understand. They don't understand. If you just if they remastered Gundam,
I'd watch every second of it. I would watch every second of it. I want to see it so bad.
Remember that one Watchmojo list where it was best anime fights or something of all time or something? And there was that
it was with the death Gundam or whatever it is, the Reaper Gundam. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It was it put that fight and it just looks so bad, and we're like, what is this on the list?
It looks horrible. I'm sure it was so cool for the anime, especially at the time, but it was awesome. And there have been amazing Gundam since, some that connect to the story, some that don't. That's what made it really tough to not put it on the list, because we're supposed to be talking about Gurren Lagann, but that's why I made it tough not to put it on the list, is because we don't really know where things connect and where not to. That's probably maybe our own knowledge, but I never really see it on a list.
If you think it belongs, I think if you think it belongs on the list, then I would never fight against that. But Gurren Lagann,
yes,
very good.
Start to finish.
It was between anime. This and not that the both can't be on the list, but Code Geass and this, we just Code Geass is really good. We'll put it when we get to honorable mention, we'll talk about. But Gurren Lagann, The characters are great. The art, Trigger knows how to do
Trigger
art.
Trigger
Yeah,
is sick.
art.
JJK actually, like in the beginning of season 2, there they pulled scenes out of it.
Yeah.
Remember, Meki Umaru's big fight, like. Literally, at one point, Mahito turns his hand into the spiral drill and is busting through, and it like matches scene for scene almost.
Nice.
So put it together. It's really cool. But it's a great anime, great characters, great character development. It pops up on lists all the time, no matter where you're watching, whether it's Watchmojo or it's generally on the internet. It's always near the top. Netflix, I think, puts it up there on its top when you like it suggested anime. If it's still there, I don't know if it's still there anymore, but. It's really great. Character development's awesome. They do a time skip beautifully, beautifully, and once again they put death in the show, which is so
right
good.
Off the rip. You think
Kamina.
Kinema. You think Kamina's gonna be the main character, and you're like, okay,
kidding.
Or maybe not the main character, but Simon's just like you think he's
it's
gonna
him
be,
and Simon gonna be there forever, you know.
And then
two buddies, Rick and Morty to the end of time.
And then he's got that. His death scene is so good too. It's one of the better death scenes, I think.
And when they all hallucinate him later on in the anti-spiral universe, oh my god!
And that's what was good too. Is like even though the ending got really like acid trip and crazy, it all like still connected.
It all still made sense. Yeah, that's the big thing.
Yeah,
and like even though it wasn't even crazy of an acid trip, they were just fighting on the scale of the universe. It wasn't like some crazy like 8 dimensions later. They kept just getting bigger. That's all they kept doing, you know. So
and it's if you haven't seen it, you've definitely heard of it. It was one of those I think too. I saw on lists. I just never knew what it was, and I was just like, and I used to be like very anti-mech anime because I like them more now. I think all I thought was just like the boring old school Gundam for me. I just never like enjoyed like fighting in mech suits. But then I always said that to myself, and I was like, dude, I watch Power Rangers. What am I talking about?
Facts. Yeah.
And I watched this, and I was like, oh my god, this is awesome. Yeah. So definitely, I'm fine with the number 4, 100%. All right, now for the top 3. So far, we had 10 Evangelion. 9.
Why did you say Neon Genesis? It's
Genesis is the first
easier.
book of the Bible.
Oh my god! It's the easier. Like it's the easiest thing out of that sentence to say. Like Evangelion's harder to say than Neon Genesis.
I know. Number 9 is My Hero Academia. Number 8 is Jujutsu Kaisen. Number 7, Bleach. Number 6, Cowboy Bebop. Number 5, Dragon Ball. Number 4, Gurren Lagann. So now to the top 3.
Let's go.
Number 3 we have on our list is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yeah.
I think this definitely deserves number 3. I think out of all the anime on this list and out there, there is, until One Piece ends, there is no better complete story in an anime.
I agree with that.
From beginning to end, story's amazing, and it completes perfectly. Naruto blew it at the end. They could have had it. Yeah, they could have had it.
We'll also see with JJK, but yeah.
I mean, we'll see with JJK, yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So far, the story's not even remotely as good as Full Metal, but... Are you serious?
I don't know about that.
What?
I think the story is super interesting.
It's interesting, but cool. It's not as like complex or it's not even close to complex.
I mean, it's complex. You don't know what's going on.
There is a bad curse that wants to kill everyone.
Okay, and then there was a bad
underground, super secretive military organization with homunculi, and then a god.
Yeah, there was one homunculi that wanted to eat God. That's it. And then kill everybody.
With a super secret organization.
And actually did kill everybody.
Yeah, and then it all got reversed because they had his copy version of himself.
So complex.
Way more complex than Jujutsu Kaisen.
We'll see by the end of JJK. That's why I said wait till the end.
We'll see, but
so far it's been incredibly... What are you talking about? The sheer amount of curses, we don't know what Sukuna's doing. We don't know what Geto's doing, really.
It's definitely interesting, and it definitely could be, but like, okay. But I think you're blowing up the Jujutsu Kaisen story more than it is.
We'll find out by the end.
It's literally.
I think it's gonna be something huge.
I hope so. I hope so, but it doesn't need to be. But
it doesn't need to be, but I think it could be.
But like so far, the story's just been like, I'm a bad guy, me,
as opposed to Father, who's just a bad guy. All the homunculi are just bad guys.
Well, Father's like whole thing was like he's setting up this plan. He built a country to set up this entire plan to like
Geto made 1,000
steal all their souls,
deals with
and
people.
Then he took into
to make
them,
a culling war,
and also like separated himself into the different homunculi to take himself away to make himself more like God because he took away. Are you comparing Geto and Father?
Yeah,
they're not even the
same. They're two big baddies that aren't even human that want to kill people and take over the world.
Their Father's plan is a million times more complicated. Geto's was, I guess
he made thousands of deals over hundreds of years.
I guess he did. Oh, I guess he did do that. I didn't think about that. It's pretty similar.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, father only built an entire country.
I mean, yeah, but they can only
And
work
then
in Japan, so.
manipulated the government the entire time for hundreds of years.
As opposed to what Ghetto was moving from body to body. Not Ghetto. The brain was moving from body to body,
Manipulating
the
entire government.
the JJK world, which is
No, he didn't. He didn't manipulate them.
Yeah, he did.
What did he do?
He kept moving from body to body.
That's not manipulating the government. Like
the government in this world doesn't really matter though.
It's not even manipulating the Jujutsu Kaisen people. You're not.
Yeah, he is. He was the word. He was.
No,
He manipulated the entire blood of
Father literally like is the puppet master of the entire government.
Okay, cool. I don't understand. He's Ghetto. The brain still manipulated everything. Not everything, but manipulated the world to the point where he's at right now.
I guess. I
think you're gatekeeping the Full Metal Alchemist storyline a little bit.
I don't think I'm gatekeeping it. I think you don't like that everyone's like, oh yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen's pretty like, their story is like whatever, but the fights are really cool, and you like feel like you have to like support the story and be like, no, it is really good.
I do think the story's. I don't want to. Okay. I will admit.
Yes, yeah.
I will admit. Well, good, because I just had this whole argument. Like, if someone calls it simple, then yeah, no, I don't believe it's. If that's simple, then Full Metal Alchemist is simple.
No,
it's just them going from spot to spot fighting people.
Just because Full Metal Alchemist?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, they're literally going out looking for the Philosopher's Stone. Then you find out what the Philosopher's Stone is made
they go there, find the MacGuffin, fight people.
There is no MacGuffin.
The Philosopher's Stone's a MacGuffin.
They don't use it.
Okay, well, yeah, okay, they're people that they're using.
Who?
Aren't they? Yeah, no, they use the Philosopher's Stone. The fake Philosopher's Stones.
The fake Philosopher?
They use those.
Yeah, rarely. Like, it's very... Al uses it, like, once.
And then, what's his name? The guy who blows things up.
Scar?
No. The other guy who blows things up. He helps beat Pride in the end. He gets eaten by Pride. He's K, something like K.
Oh, Lee?
What?
Lee?
No. Looks like Lee. I know what you're thinking. I thought it was Lee, too. It's the guy that blows things up. He's like evil.
Oh, Kim Lee.
Kim Lee, yeah. He uses a bunch of them, yeah. He's like two.
He's a villain, yeah.
So?
Yeah, that's another thing. Kim Lee, interesting character. I'm not saying Jujutsu Kaisen's story is bad.
I'm not saying Full Metal Alchemist story isn't complete and perfect.
Yes.
I just think you're saying it's the only thing that can be complete and perfect.
No, I even said One Piece will beat it when it completes, for sure. And Naruto's is like, if Naruto just didn't have Kage at the end.
Yeah, I agree with that. Kage fucked everything up.
If Kage wasn't at the end, I'd actually put Naruto above Full Metal Alchemist, just for the fact that, we'll get to Naruto, honestly. Well, just for the fact for like, the story happened so much earlier on than you thought.
True.
I know Full Metal Alchemist does that too in the opening, which is really cool that they call back to that, where you're like the ice user, and then you're like, oh, he knew the entire time. I'm just saying, JJK's story, it is good, but it's like, when we find out more stuff, sure.
Okay, that's why I said it had a chance to do it.
I don't think it has a chance to beat Full Metal on the way it's going, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah, I just feel like there's that, it's like, whoa, there's unknowns, and it's like, that doesn't mean they're anything. It's like Demon Slayer. We'll see, but right now it looks like the unknown is really.
I think Demon Slayer this might be a hot take. I think they might be going off the rails.
Yeah,
I think like when Nezuko could fight the sun, and it sort of just made me feel like
that was so stupid.
It sort of just made me feel like they quickie sped something up. Like, what's the point of the blue spider lily then? Oh my god, what's his name? Muzan was hunting for. They call him with something like K. Was hunting for, but like I feel like they just like took like there's all this story that he was working on for hundreds of years, and then now there's a demon that can conquer the sun.
Yeah, and I hated the reason was just because she's special.
I know.
I
want to know if there's something with their bloodline, but yeah, I don't disagree with you on that.
Well, see, that's why I thought that was good with JJK is like, remember I was like, if Gojo can just do it because he's special, it's not like Gojo's special, it's that his curse ability combination is special.
Correct.
And they give the history of it, and like that is awesome.
That's cool, yeah.
I guess you're right. I guess they could do like their bloodline because it looks like it's very important. Anyways,
and also Yuji being a demon wound painting is gonna be a huge thing too, which I think that was a cool reveal. Yeah, like cool set. Like that's where with the brain set.
Full Metal Alchemist.
It's really good.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is an anime that got me into anime. The story is amazing, complete to end. The characters are amazing. I plan on naming my two dogs Edward and Alphonse.
Yeah. And I agree that I think actually it might be the anime to show people to get them into anime.
It's definitely
it's an easy watch. It's only like 5 seasons.
So yeah, it's 73 episodes.
That's such an easy watch. That's no problem. And it's very cool. And the dubbing it might be the best English dubbing I have ever seen in anime.
Yeah.
And I think it actually might be better than the sub. That's such a rare thing to
100%
see.
100% agree. I watch it dubbed more than anything.
Oh, it's spectacular.
and you got Shout Tucker. There's
Yeah.
so many memes out of it. One of the worst as in like hurt you deaths of all time.
Yep. So many deaths.
That was like, it was my first anime, my first time going, damn, look at Lust. I was like, anime, what are we doing?
Hey, well, what's going on? All
Roy
right, okay.
Mustang is like one of the top tier, like
The
more
guy.
BA characters.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those anime that the only person I know that thought it was just okay was John. And because there wasn't enough fighting. And I was like,
Okay.
all right.
There's a lot of fighting in the
There's
anime.
a ton of fighting.
There's a lot of fighting.
When Father comes back alone, that scene is awesome.
Yeah,
Not Father,
any-
Pure Bradley.
Anytime, facts, yeah.
That scene is
Anytime
sick.
Pride pretty much just does anything, he's fighting someone.
Yeah.
The huge whole scene with the dome.
Great job.
And also once again too, this one pops up on every list you look at.
Yeah.
It was my anime watch list, like top number 1 for the longest time.
It
wasn't
is. It isn't currently right now. That Elf show that came out is.
Well, I feel like
that
it's
will
all
fall
shifting,
off.
yeah.
That will fall off because Kaguya Love is War beat it for a little bit. Newer recency bias as it shows, but yeah, it's been my number 1 on my anime list forever.
Yeah.
The only caveat I have to that is my anime list does seasons, which is stupid. And Full Metal Alchemist is technically 1 season.
Yeah,
so that's
I
like
see.
kind of it's like how do you
Dumb. Yeah.
But anyways, that was our number 3. Our number 2. Number 1 and 2 are going to be easy for you. You're going to hear about it. But number 2, obviously, wasn't even on the list in Watchmojo. Naruto.
Wasn't even an honorable mention.
Naruto,
in the
Naruto, ship it
Watchmojo
in.
list.
But
Yeah, whatever. Naruto's a complete series. That I've listened to any part of the podcast. We will gush over Naruto forever. Has some of the best characters, the best fight scenes, and overall, just the story development makes you want to cry every 5 seconds. It's spectacular.
It is, yeah.
The characters that you're supposed to hate, you hate. The characters you like, and then Naruto is just the goodest boy on the planet, and I love him for it. The only thing that show fucked up really was the ending.
Yeah, Kaguya.
Kaguya, the aliens. Aliens are just not a good move overall.
Aliens.
Aliens. They decided to do aliens, and then Boruto doubled down with it. That's why Boruto is not part of this universe.
Yeah.
Boruto
Naruto's not part of the top 100 anime list.
Naruto's not part. Yeah, that's generous. I'm part of the top 200 list.
It's really actually fun watching. So I work with a few people who have gotten into anime, Tommy and John, and they started Naruto way after they watched like a bunch of other stuff. And it's fun to hear from them. And this is one thing that Naruto is like, they were pointing it out, and I would tell them about this, is that you can see with Dragon Ball was very important for anime. You can see Naruto's like story and style and everything transcend all like it, like so many anime.
They created the trio too.
Yeah, they created the trio, and their trio sucks.
Yeah.
Like,
it is one of the worst trios out
Yeah.
there.
Naruto-
Sasuke is terrible.
Sasuke is awful. Sakura blows. Naruto's. If Luffy didn't exist, Naruto would probably be my favorite anime character. So he's my number 2 favorite.
Yeah.
Naruto is.
He's so good.
The man.
The whole show is named after him.
know, yeah.
One Piece doesn't even have that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Like, yeah, they made the trios. Like JJK is doing it. JJK's trio is way better. But
100%. Well, it was better.
yeah, that's true. Damn. But even like Haikyuu copied Naruto.
Oh yeah.
Like,
They copied the good boy and the angry boy.
Yeah, one's like, I have the natural talent, but like, and all the energy, but like, I'm not honed enough. And one's like, I'm honed on my skills.
Yeah.
But, and then Black Clover, obviously, just straight up pretty much is Naruto. I will say this. Every version I've seen of like Sasuke, way better.
100%.
Naruto's still the GOAT.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no
No one
one-
beats Naruto. No one beats Naruto.
Yeah.
No one beats Naruto.
Once again, I think with Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood and Naruto and our number 1, which we haven't got to yet, which you know what it is, all of them all the dubs are just as
100%.
Are just as good.
100%. They killed it with the dubbing of that one. I don't know how they did that, but they did.
Rasengan.
Yeah, I know. It's so good.
Yeah, Jiraiya. I think when One Piece ends, and it will be the greatest story in anime ever told, hopefully.
Yeah.
It only thing it can mess up is saying the One Piece's friendship, which I think they confirmed in the show that it's not.
I think so.
Yeah, they confirmed in the show that it's
I
not.
want to say they did.
Yeah.
I don't know.
At least the voice actor for Luffy confirmed that it's not. But minus the Kaguya thing, God, Naruto hits your heart, man.
Yeah.
The story just hits your heart.
Yeah. It really does.
It really does.
There's so many. I still remember when Jiraiya died. It was so much.
Mm-hmm.
It was emotional turmoil for me for days. I was like, oh, this amazing character's gone. No. Yeah. So, and just to go off of that, it's on a lot of lists. I feel like it's snubbed a lot of the lists though. Like a lot. Like Watchmojo loves to snub this anime. It's insane.
It's weeps. It's weeps.
The weeps suck.
They
suck.
because they used to all be about Naruto.
Yeah.
Back in the day when everyone hated anime.
Yeah.
And they're like, Naruto's so cool, and everyone hated it. Then everyone got into anime, and they're like, hey man, you're right, Naruto is awesome. They're like,
You can't like
no,
this.
I like idle upside down banana pants. And you're like, okay, whatever the hell that anime
Okay,
is.
cool, man. Cool. Good for you. Have fun with that. But anyways, this is number 2. Not even arguable.
Yeah. Pain arc, best arc in anime.
Thanks.
And before we get to our number 1, which you all know what it is, we're just going to toss out a few honorable mentions. One of our honorable mentions, just because we haven't seen it, but I feel like it deserves to be in the top 10. I feel like when we finally watch it, we might actually put it in the top 10. Just because the fights look awesome and it looks hilarious, is Gintama.
Yeah. And it's a long one. That's the only thing that stopped me right now because like I dedicated myself to Bleach as my next long one, but I having trouble getting through it. But Gintama, I want to watch it so bad. It looks so good.
Yeah, and if you're a fan of the show and you're listening to the podcast, like put in the comments like if you really think it belongs in the top 10 because it's never in the top 10.
Yeah. They got a movie a couple years ago and apparently it did amazing.
And
like, amazing.
If you look at my anime list, always like 5 of their seasons are like up.
It's always
like,
up
yeah.
there. It's always up there.
That one, Code Geass, we already talked about a little bit. Gundam.
In general.
We had another one that was.
We did have another one.
We didn't write down the honorable mentions.
I don't know what it was though. Why didn't we write the honorable mentions down? Should have done that.
I don't know, we should have. That was an honorable mention. I would like to say, no, that doesn't belong on the list. Shonen reigns king, so Showen's got to go.
Vinland Saga might be interesting by the time it's done.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
With that one.
Attack on Titan, definitely not an honorable mention.
No.
First 3 seasons, Attack on Titan, honorable mention.
First 2 seasons would be on the list if we could just count the first 2 seasons.
Black Clover.
Black Clover, yeah.
Clover.
I can't wait for that show to come back.
Yeah, that we wanted to put it in the top 10.
I know.
If we were in Japan, I feel like we could have.
I think we
because
could
it's so
get
popular over
something
there.
For some reason, people aren't watching it.
Yeah,
here.
no one watches
it's
here.
so good here.
It's so good, and I know I will agree that like the first like 20 episodes is kind of like but like once you hit that 20 episode, it's like
it never stops.
It's amazing.
It never stops.
But let's get to our number 1, so we're not in this hot room forever.
Yes,
and the Bills game is at 4:30. So, number 1, there's no question about it. It deserves to be number 1. Is One Piece.
The One Piece.
It is the goats of goats. I will say this before Davis goes on his rant about how great it is, because he deserves it. I will say this. I just watched it recently, like 2 years ago, year and a half ago.
About a year and a half ago.
Whatever. I watched it pretty recently. This is where anime fans need to understand that they're all not the coolest people. I've said this on this podcast a million times, so I'm going to say it again. You're going to hear it again. I've never read Lord of the Rings. I know it's the greatest fantasy series of all time. I don't listen to the Beatles every day. I know they're the greatest band of all time. When I didn't watch One Piece, I admitted that it is the GOAT.
Yep.
You know it's the GOAT.
It is. It might be the greatest story ever told. In terms of anime, it
might be in like top 10 greatest stories ever.
I would probably agree with that. By the time it's done, they've done wild stuff since the beginning. I remember watching One Piece back when it was premiering on Cartoon Network during the day, and it was wild. It was great. There's no better set of characters that work so perfectly together. The One Piece crew, and they're still building it, are spectacular. And there's not a single one of them that you can remove from that crew without that crew like falling apart almost. Even the weak ones. Like Usopp.
Can't get rid of him.
Usopp would be my number 1 to get rid of, and I still couldn't do it because he's that important to the crew. There's no more perfect group of characters out there than in One Piece. The story has been going on for plus 20 years now. We still don't know exactly what all of it is.
Yeah, but it all seems so interesting.
It all seems somehow that it's all going to make sense in the end, and I don't know how, and I can't wait to find out. They've killed each big moment in One Piece, especially in the last few years, has owned the internet. When they hit episode 1,000, owned internet. Oh, yeah. Everyone was talking about One Piece. When they got to Wano, everyone was talking about One Piece. Gear 5, as much as the letdown it was because of the hype that was around it, it was still really great at the end. I know you still got to catch up, but you're only a few episodes behind. Yeah. But it was actually the Wano ending was really, really good.
I know I'm a few episodes behind, but I just want to cut you off real quick. Is the crew full?
No.
Nice.
Not at all.
That's interesting.
I know, right? Damn. I was very
that's
surprising. Interested. Yes.
That's surprising.
And I've talked about Wano before and how like Wano is great and I love it. I don't know, the vibe is not my favorite out of all the arcs in One Piece, but there's so many arcs in One Piece where I'm like, is this one the best one? Is this one the best one? Yeah. I'm not really sure. But Egghead just started And already what they're doing with it seems like it's amazing. I'm not going to say it's been better than Wano because Wano was nuts.
Yeah.
But right now, I love the vibe of Egghead. And already the stuff that they're bringing in stuff that I didn't think we're going to see for another 50 episodes.
Nice.
So they're doing crazy stuff. The world just got bigger again. And I cannot wait to see what happens with this anime. It is on so many Watchmojo lists. It's on so many lists that Watchmojo, I don't think they want to put it as number one, but they are sometimes a slave to recency bias. And when like One Piece is owned the internet, they kind of have to. I think they would, knowing them on their list, they would choose to put it lower. But it's on so many other top 10 anime lists. You type in top 10 anime in Google search in general, it pops up.
Of course.
It is that great of an anime.
Once
and
again,
Luffy is one of the best protagonists.
He is. He's the number one protagonist.
Yeah.
Easily, hands down. Once again, if it's not your favorite anime, that's fine.
Yeah, it's totally fair.
But it is the best.
Yes.
It's just unarguable. The Straw Hats, you went on about it. The story, and if they keep it up the way they do it, I was like, oh my god, I was like, Dressrosa is easily the best arc ever. And then Whole Cake Island was like, this is easily the best arc ever. And then Wano, I'm like, this is easily the best arc ever. If they do it with Egghead again, this show don't miss.
It don't miss. It don't miss.
It don't miss.
It's so amazing. So yeah, that's why it's number one.
Everyone, we get we had a comment on the video, the Watchmojo video.
Oh, jeez.
Pacing in the show is slow. Here's what annoys me though. Everyone says that about One Piece, and it is true. Every old anime is like that.
Yeah.
Goku literally held a spirit ball for literally like 10 episodes. Like
It's a long
every old anime is like that.
Yeah.
Like why they forget that One Piece should probably update its style and move away from the slow
Probably
pacing,
move
but
away.
that's how the show works and that's how it was.
And people still love it.
People still love it.
And also, not for nothing, you watched all of it in like the span of like I'm gonna say a year and a half. I'm highballing that. Like it was, you got through it. You crushed it, and you were well because you wanted to do it before Gear 5 hit, and you got there well ahead of time. So it's very doable. Yeah. It's very doable to get through. So much of it is dubbed now too, and it's awesome. Like, and there's just getting better. The opening they have, I mean, was the best opening they could ever have. Oh. The opening they have right now, they went nuts with the animation, and the animation style changed again in this. This show is just gonna get better as it goes on, and I don't know what the ending's gonna be. I literally have no idea, but I cannot wait to see it. So that is why it is number one.
It is, yes, it is number one anime. That is the correct list currently until we watch other ones and see what we think and all that. The top three will probably never change.
I agree with that.
Unless Jujutsu Kaisen ends and it's amazing. Then it could bump Full Metal Alchemist. But the top two will probably never change. Even if JJK ended amazing.
I know. It'd be so hard to beat that.
And thank God Davis is editing this episode because we'll put the top 10 right here.
Oh, you piece of shit. You asshole. Fine, I'll try.
You can do it. All right. But that's the real top 10. If you disagree, put it down in the comments. If you agree, put it in the comments. Thank you, Normal Nerd Nation, for listening and maybe even watching another podcast episode. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Reddit, YouTube, and Instagram. Davis is always posting hilarious memes on there.
Also, like and subscribe while you're at it, and leave a rating if you have some time. It helps people find the show.